Consistency. Consistency. That is what I want us to think about and talk about on this week's episode of Minutes with MinistaMike. For the past 4 or 5 weeks, we've been talking about the principles or the laws that govern growth. We've been talking about growth in general and also the principles or the laws that govern growth. So this week, we will be talking about the 5th principle that governs growth, and that is consistency. So when you hear the word consistency, what comes to your mind? What do you think about when you hear the word consistency or the statement be consistent? The consistency principle teaches that while motivation may get you started, it is discipline and consistency that will keep you growing. While motivation may get you to start something, it is discipline and consistency, doing things what you've said you will do, making sure you do it when you say you will do it always, will keep you growing. Growth does not come from bursts of effort. Growth does not come from sporadic actions, but from steady daily actions, but from steady consistent actions. It's all about doing small things every single day that eventually lead to big results over time. It's not about acting every hour of the day. It's acting consistently every day. It's not about acting every hour of every day that will give you the result you're looking for. That might give you a result, and that is burnout. But when you act every single day for the rest of your life on one thing that you say you will do, you will grow. And when you consistently grow, it will lead to the big results that you've been gunning for. It will lead to the big results that you are looking for over time. These are the key points that I want you to go away with this week. Number one insight I want you to learn is that motivation will get you started, but consistency will keep you growing. Motivation will get you to start, but it is consistency that will keep you growing. Motivation is great. Inspiration and motivation is great for short-term bursts. You need an energy. You need to move. You need to move. You need an inertia, something to push you. Motivation is great for that. But over time, it fades. It fades. That's why Zig Ziglar said, take motivation as if you're taking your bath. Says you do it every day, be motivated every single day. But consistency, on the other hand, creates lasting growth. It is not about doing everything at once, okay? It is not about doing everything at once, but it is about doing something about everything every single day. No matter how small, no matter how basic it might look to you. 1%, 0.5% movement, make sure you do that every day, and it compounds over time. Take for example, you choose to now wake up 5 minutes earlier than you always wake up. In a week, you have 30-35 minutes of your time back. Imagine you now say, oh, I want to do 1 hour. In a week, you have 6-7 hours. Again, imagine what you have in a month. That is 30 hours of waking earlier. That is 30 hours of productive time to you. You can motivate yourself to get 30 hours again in a month. You can motivate yourself like that. You can, but be disciplined and be consistent to get 30 hours back of your time in a week that normally you would have lost. So motivation will get you started, but consistency will keep you growing. Also this week, I want you to know that you shouldn't overestimate intensity. Don't overestimate intensity. Many of us do that. I want to work now. I want to work so hard. I want to give pain. I understand the place of intensity. But it is not always. If you are always intense, you will burn out. You will lose much more of energy. You might gain time, but you will lose energy. You might manage your time well, but you will not be able to manage your energy well. See, many people think that they need to do something at high intensity for them to see results, and sometimes that is true, but that is not sustainable over time. Do you understand me? That is not sustainable over time. What really works is doing a little bit of everything or anything consistently over time. A little bit of this, a little bit of that consistently over time. That works. Small daily actions compounds over time into long-term results, into long-term growth, into long-term success. Also, make consistency a habit. Do not just be consistent once in a month. Do not just be consistent once in a week. Do not just be consistent 5 minutes in a day. Make it a habit. Make consistency a habit. That's one of the things I want you to learn this week. Make consistency a habit. To grow, you need to develop the habits that fully aligns with your values, that aligns with your goals. You make this habit so simple. All right, make this habit so simple and so easy to stick to. The reason why most of us fail when we start to do a new thing is because we are so intense when we started. Don't do that to yourself. You get burnt out and you get discouraged easily. Why? Because your brain is not accustomed to the new habit that you're trying to create. Your brain is lazy. Your brain works with patterns, and the new pattern you are into, the new variable that you are introducing into your brain is not consistent with what you've always done. That is why after you've started 2 months, 3 months, you quit. Why? Because your brain is telling you, you want to kill yourself, don't do this. But when you introduce simple and easy system to create a new habit into your life, that's why I said, if you want to start waking early and you want to do better when you wake early, start with a 5 minute. Don't just say, oh, I've been waking up 6 o'clock every day, I want to start waking up 5. It's possible. It's possible, but the probability that you will revert back to your 6 o'clock is high. Based on statistics, it's high. But what you can do is say, okay, I've been waking up 6 o'clock every day. Let me start waking up 5:55. Or let me start waking up 5:45, 15 minutes earlier. That is simple. It will trick your brain into thinking, oh, there is no too much distance between 5:45 to 6 o'clock. There is no too much distance between 5:55 to 6 o'clock. And that you can be consistent about. Do you understand me? Make these habits simple. Make it easy to do. Make it easy to stick to. When you do something now consistently, it becomes a part of who you are. It becomes a part of your routine, and it doesn't feel like a struggle. It's not that like you're fighting yourself. Do you understand me? It feels natural, and over time it becomes part of you. Also, make sure you store up before you show up, and that is where energy comes into play. You need to grow. You need to learn that growth is like a seed. All right, you need to water it every day. You need to water it over time, and you will see that it starts growing. All right, it starts sprouting. Do you understand me? You don't just plant a seed today and tomorrow it germinates. No, you have to. There are some actions that you need to take consistently over time to see that first green leaf shoot. Do you understand me? You need to learn that. That is what is called storing up before it shows up. You need to keep giving. You need to keep consistently giving before you will see the result you're looking for. That's just what I mean by that. Store up and it will show up. Store up energy. Store up consistent effort. Store up consistent right actions, and the growth that you're looking for will show up. And the value you want to create will light up the world. And the success you want to see will come. You will be able to see it in your life. Also, set achievable goals for yourself. Many goals that you said, I understand grand goals. Okay, I want to change the world. That is grand, but make sure that whatever actions you will take to achieve them is achievable. Whatever action you will take to see that goal materialize is achievable. Because if you start with the grand, oh, I want to write 7 books in a day. Come on, boy. It is possible, but the probability that you will quit before you finish the first chapter of the first book is high. Do you understand me? Because you've not done it before. So set achievable goals for yourself, and you will discover that you will be consistent in doing it. Focus on doing one thing consistently over time, and you will move closer to your long-term objectives. See, this is what I want to close with this week. Discipline over motivation. Another insight I want you to take away this week is you need to be disciplined. You must prefer discipline over motivation. Discipline will always be greater than motivation. There will always be days when you don't feel motivated, all right? But discipline will carry you through. Discipline will be able to help you to still do what you need to do, to still do what you ought to do, even though you don't feel like doing it. See, rely on the habit of consistency rather than waiting for inspiration to strike you. You can trust consistency. You can trust discipline. You cannot always trust motivation. You cannot always trust inspiration. You cannot always trust yourself to be inspired. You cannot always trust yourself to be motivated, but you can always trust yourself to stay disciplined, to be disciplined, and to be consistent. And finally, you need to know that consistency is built over time. Momentum is built also through consistency, and consistency is built over time. The more consistent you are, the easier it becomes for you to maintain momentum. All right, the more consistent you are, the more easier it is for you to maintain momentum. Success builds on itself, and over time, consistency becomes a natural part of your growth journey. So I wish you well, and I'm charging you this week to make consistency part and parcel of who you are. Discipline will see you through. Thank you, and I will talk to you next week. Bye for now.